7th in the year of our Lord 2025. What is happening? I hope that everybody's going to have a fantastic day, a great day. And obviously, this is the podcast pregame. And I know I've done a bad job in trying to publicize these little lives where I'm on here maybe a half hour tops, 20 minutes, depending on what it is that needs to be brought up here. And even though we're in that slow sports period, the dead zone 2.0, as I like to call it, I know that there are still a lot of things percolating in sports. And I can only imagine once we get to this point, 4 weeks from now, it is going to be on and popping because, as you well know, the NFL season begins, count them, on one hand, 4 weeks from tonight in Philadelphia between the Cowboys and Eagles. And when you even think about it on a bigger picture, maybe not, I'll say bigger picture, because although the season does officially begin Thursday, and then you're going to have the game in Brazil the next day where the Chargers, I forgot what they're hosting. Are they playing the Chiefs? I think maybe Chiefs-Chargers, where there's your Friday night game, and I guess that's going to be an annual game because remember last year was Green Bay, Philadelphia. But exactly 1 month from today, the NFL season in earnest begins. Sunday, September the 7th. And here we are already, August the 7th. So it is raging like a bull. Well, maybe not. It's a little bit too strong because the preseason technically begins tonight. But before you know it, in the blink of an eye, it will be NFL previews. I'll have over-under totals. I'll have my predictions, go through the divisions, the whole nine. So, yeah, it will be here. That's all I got to say. But football, we'll put that on the back burner for now. Although I have a couple of topics on the podcast today to discuss. I'm just going to plug in something here so you can bear with me for a moment as I'm continuing to set up shop here for the pod today. As you see my microphone and I got my recorder here. So while I'm speaking, and I'll be present in just a matter of moments, but your podcast pregame is looking a little bit like this. The best team in baseball, record-wise, as of right this very second. And if I were to ask you that right now, you'll probably say, oh, wait a minute, it's got to be the Tigers, right? If that is your answer, you are incorrect. Oh, the Dodgers, the World Series champs, correct? No good. All right, well, if it's not those two teams, I guess the Phillies got to be up there, right? No, Phillies are not there. Oh, Astros, I know they're playing well. They did lose to the Marlins last night, but they're actually probably amongst the top, if not the best record in the sport. Wrong. Not the Yankees, not the Mets. Oh, wait, how about the Toronto Blue Jays? Negative. It is the Milwaukee Brewers. That's right. The Brew Crew are, not only do they have the best record, and thanks for jumping on board, whomever is watching there live, I appreciate you stopping by. So for those who are into sports, you come to the right place. But I'll talk a little bit about anything and everything, whatever you want to talk about. What up, weird white dude, Felicia? Hey, Felicia, I'm not white, but, thanks for stopping by. Yeah, when it comes to sports or whatever's on your mind, you want to say what's up with my head, I'm shaving or whatever, that's all right. Let's have a good time here for the next few minutes and we'll chop it up and talk about what's happening, whatever's on your brain. But I'm talking about the Milwaukee Brewers, baseball. Hey, what's up, Jeffrey Bezos? DNA boys, what's going on? How you guys? I appreciate you stopping by. I don't know if sports is your forte. If it is, I appreciate it because that's what I'm in the middle of talking about. But I'm coming at you live, direct. What, weird French dude? No, I'm not French either. As a matter of fact, Felicia, if you could guess what I am, you already got, that's 2 shots, so you got 2 strikes. We'll keep it in a sports theme. 2 strikes. If you had to take a guess, all right? I know probably the next thing you're going to say if I had to just say a weird dude. Yeah, thank you, Jeffrey. I appreciate that. But hey, Felicia wants to have a little fun, try to figure out who I am, background, etc. Trust me, I am not here to snipe. I'm not here to start arguments or to be combative, to say the least. Thanks, Jeff. I'm just here to talk about what it is that I love, which is sports. I can talk about life. I can talk about whatever. But the reason why for these lives to do a podcast pregame, because I have my podcast coming later today. Apple, Spotify, JAYREELZ.com is the website. As you see right there's the logo. And here on YouTube at JAYREELZ, if you subscribe, I appreciate it. Felicia, guess what? You hit it right out of the ballpark. Good for you. All right. So look at that. First swing was a miss. The next one, you hit it foul ball down the right field line, maybe not so deep. And this one, you hit out of the ballpark. So, Felicia, give it up. So, kudos to you. I appreciate that. What was I talking about? Felicia, Jeff, I know I got you laughing there, which is cool. What a weird dude. Hey, listen, I guess we're all weird in some way, shape, or form, right? It's not a situation where straight and narrow, perfect, etc., buttoned up, the whole nine. But with that being said, I know that the podcast pregame, this is H2O, it's not vodka. It's too early in the morning for that, as it's now, 9:36 here in the Eastern time zone. But I was talking about the Milwaukee Brewers. Yes, you got it right. I appreciate that, Felicia. Where are you from? I'm curious. What part of the world are you from? If you could give me a little background on that, I'd appreciate it. And yeah, this is good. Interacting with you guys and gals, that's what it's all about, right? That's what these live streams. Yeah, you got it. Listen, I'm a little surprised. I thought the next thing you were going to say, in all honesty, I thought you were going to say, oh, Italian dude or whatever. FX, what's going on? Where you from? Jeff, where you from too? No way, finally someone in my time zone. All right, where you from? Oh, you're from France, Felicia. All right. Oh, you're from New York. Wait, are you born in... Oh, you're French, but you're from New York. Sorry, I need my glasses. So you're French or from New York? All right. Are you originally from France? I'm curious. FX, Australia, down under. Awesome. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. Also, Jeff, FX, Felicia, thank you for stopping by as well. I'm sure you're probably saying, who's this JAYREELZ guy? Let me just jump on his live. So, and yeah, like I said, we don't have to talk sports right now. We can talk about where you're from, what you're doing, what's going on. What time is it in Australia right now, FX? If you could let me know what that's about, I'm curious. I've never been to Australia, maybe one day. Felicia, you're from New York. What part of New York? You don't have to tell me what street, whatever. Are you in the five boroughs? You can say, are you in the five boroughs? Are you from Long Island? Are you in upstate New York? Not going to say the exact place with Florida. Nah, that's fine, Jeff. I can dig it. No, how about this? North Florida or South Florida? I have family in South Florida. That's why. And I don't have to, trust me, I won't break it down by county. Are you in this county? I'm just curious. Put it this way. Are you north of, what's like the halfway point? Jupiter? Black Ninja? Brisbane, 11:37 p.m. Oh, look at that. Wow, so you're 14 hours. That's awesome. South Florida. All right, Jeff, I appreciate that. Thanks for clarifying. And Felicia's from Black Ninja. All right? Now, I know you said from New York. I don't know what part, where Black Ninja is. That's got to be a code for something. 13? All right. I hear that. I appreciate you stopping by, of course. Isabel Whitney, Port Orange. Port Orange. Port Orange. That's not Florida either, is it? Isabel, if you could clarify that. Oh, yeah, I'm old. I'm an old guy. Hey, all right, how about this, Felicia? If you could take a guess how old I am. I know you're 13, but listen, we're just having back and forth. I'm not, But yes, I am much older. In fact, I'm going to give you a hint. And this is going to sound crazy. You're probably going to fall out of your chair. Maybe. That's a pretty good guess. That is a pretty good guess. I'm actually 56. 56. Near Daytona. All right, Isabel, that's good. I know it's got to be hot down there. Yeah, I got family in South Florida, near Fort Lauderdale. It's been over a year since I've been down there. I definitely would like to get back down and visit my brother. I got my son that lives down there. I got my grandson. I have a grandson. That's what I was going to give away, Felicia, but say ninja, please. All right. I said it. So there you go. Sorry, near Daytona, and then obviously Jeff's from South Florida. Nah, that's great. I'm glad you hopped on board. I don't know. Is there anything you want to discuss? Anything that's on your mind? Anything? You tell me. Within reason. Because I don't know. I know you jumped on board. You're probably like, hey, who's this guy in a black t-shirt? It seems like he's sitting in his kitchen, although it's back there, but I'm at my desk. And quite frankly, how I look at it is that, oh, here we go. Man, if I'm going to take a guess. No, exactly. I ain't saying that. Jeff, you're spot on. So, yeah, I ain't going there. But, yeah, no, this is good. Because usually, to be quite honest with you guys and gals, on my channel, I do talk about, I have some lifestyle stuff. I talk a lot of sports. I'm not going to bore you to tears with sports, even though I'll get to that maybe a little bit later on before I sign off. I subscribe to you, funny old. Yeah, okay. Well, thank you, Felicia. I appreciate that. So, yeah. And I know you say from New York. I know I asked you what part. You don't have to tell me exactly what part. Like I said, are you 5 boroughs? Are you from Long Island? Are you upstate? For all I know, who knows? You could be my neighbor. I have a house for sale in Port Orange. Is that right? And you said it's near Daytona. So obviously you're by the water. Why are you selling your home? Can I play a song? What do you want me to play, Felicia? I know you're 13. You're probably... the music you listen to is probably the music I do not listen to. So yeah. I have a house for sale. So going back to that, Isabel. So, okay. Young, Black, and Rich. I don't even know. Who sings that? If I had to take a guess. Who's that, like Lil Baby or whatever? Melly Mike? Yeah, I never heard of Melly Mike. Oh, is that right? Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Isabel. Oh, jeez. Are you originally from Florida, Isabel? Yeah, Felicia, I don't have Melly Mike. It's not on my rotation. If you want old school hip hop, I got you. What's out recent? You're probably going to unsubscribe after you hear this, but yeah, I don't listen to anybody that's recent. And not because I don't want to listen to anybody that's recent, but they're not that good. I could take you, Isabel, your age. Take you. What is this? All right. Felicia's starting some trouble here. Felicia, we come in peace here. This is a safe space. This is a type of... Oh, you're originally from New York. Okay. And are you looking to relocate? Or are you just relocate in the sense where you're going to want to leave Florida? Or do you want to stay in Florida, but just obviously out of Port Orange? Yeah, next time I'll play some music. I wasn't prepared to play music. I'm surprised that usually when I do my impromptu live streams, there are a handful of people and I don't have a lot of communication with people. So it's one of those things where, Felicia, you're a man or you're a teenager, 13-year-old? All right, Felicia, since you got my background, I got one for you. I know you want Melly Mike or whatever else is out there. If you know who MF Doom is, then I'd be really impressed. And if you don't, look him up. All right, so wait a minute. Felicia, you're 37? And I'm only going to call you Felicia because that's the name. My son didn't want to live alone. All right, so it's just you and your son, Isabel? What am I doing here? Oh, I'm moving this over. Yeah, I'm just setting up here because I have a podcast to record in a little bit. So if you're wondering why I'm a little bit distracted on my end, it's because I'm doing that. And yes, my podcast is about sports. It's not about politics or 13 and 37. So you're 13 and 37, okay? So, but right now, are you 13? Are you both? Are you 13 or 37 right now? I'm just having a little fun with you, Felicia. I don't want you to think I'm trying to be snarky or sarcastic. But, so Isabel, you and your son, how old? Yeah, I guess Felicia's trying to find out age. I mean, she almost picked my age, which that's pretty impressive. Depending on the age. Now, would you think about coming back to New York, Isabel? That's the $64,000 question. I mean, I don't know how long ago you left New York to move to Florida. Isabel, what's very old? Put it this way. I'm 56. Is it north or south of that? You have to state your age. I'm curious. Next time I got to play music. Just so you know, Monday at this time, I'll have another live stream. I do Monday, Thursday, 9:30 in the morning, and then north. Yeah, that's North Florida, obviously, where you live. I'm just trying to, let me see, should I scroll down and see, just so I can catch up? The age. So, right, so you are north, okay. But that's all right. It's all right, Isabel, because no matter what age you are, whether you could say, oh, I'm very old, this and that, and I'm sure obviously you've experienced a life-changing event in the last year, but I will say this, and I know it may be easy to say from someone that obviously you just popped into my live and you're like, who is this guy and whatever, and not that I'm trying to give you any sage advice, but the good thing is that despite everything that has transpired over the last year, you are alive, you are, I would think, for the most part, well, and just, of course, show gratitude and be grateful. And I'm actually grateful that you're here and that you're sharing this. So yeah, it's one of those things where, again, whomever jumps on my live feed, I talk about whatever. Predominantly sports, but because you've shared a couple of details here, I'm compelled to try to bestow a little sage advice, or maybe not advice, not the right word, because it's not as if you're asking me, hey, what do I do? That's advice. But yeah, I just want to shed some light. I just want to be able to add a little sparkle to your morning or to your day, that despite whatever's going on, that it is temporary, that you will be able to put forth a good day. And obviously it's all up in here and in here, because it's easy to wake up and be like, I'm bitter. Not to say you are, but it's easy to wake up and say, I'm bitter, or I'm this, or I'm that. Yes, I am from New York, Isabel. But as we all know, life is what we make of it and how you look at things. And Lord knows, I'm one that I'm my worst enemy at times, my worst critic, because I'm trying to maximize as much as I can in my life in so many different facets and so many different things, because, right, obviously we're not guaranteed tomorrow. And without sounding philosophical or anything like that, but all I want to do is just continue to fulfill my purpose and the reason why I'm here, and to be able to share whatever wisdom, experience, etc., to those who hop on board my channel or hop on board these live streams. And yeah, whatever it is I could do to make the world a better place, that's the mark that I want to leave. Not just to be on here to talk gibberish or to act a fool or to try to be seen, the quote unquote YouTuber, because I know that can be a dirty word for some people. It's like, oh, you're a YouTuber, so you probably just exploit yourself, whatever. No, I mean, there is a purpose of why I'm on YouTube, but at the same time, it's not because I'm trying to be materialistic or show a certain side or this or that. No, I just being me. That's it. Hicksville, Long Island. Yes, very familiar. Now, how long have you lived in Florida? When you moved from New York to Florida, how long ago was that? And would you think about coming back to New York? That's the other thing. So I'm curious. And that's the whole thing about life, is being curious. Because if you're just going to live a life of, and not that there's anything wrong with that, everybody has their own preference and whatever it is that they want to do, but I'm curious to know what other people have experienced, or other people what they've been able to learn from and glean from them in life, and especially based on a couple of things that you said, you piqued my curiosity. So it's not a thing where I'm like, oh, okay, great, now let me go ahead and talk about whatever. Because you popped on my channel for a reason, and you bring up a couple of things that obviously has had me intrigued. So therefore, I'm curious. And there's nothing wrong with being curious. I think it's important for people to be curious in life, but curious with intent, not curious because there's a motive there. or they're trying to, we see enough of that day in and day out in the world, whether it's on the news or, yeah. That is just something that I don't subscribe to. But Felicia, yes, Young, Black, and Rich. Isn't that the song you're trying to look for? Which, again, I wouldn't know who was that guy, Melly Mike, was if he fell on me. I know Melly Mel. Do you know who Melly Mel is? If you know, and if you're 37, you should probably know who Melly Mel is. But, yeah. So Hicksville, let me see. Any other? All right. No, just checking to see if there are any other comments. I actually grew up in Jacksonville. And so you grew up in Jacksonville, but originally from New York. Let me scroll back down. I want to make sure I'm accurate here. All right. Grew up in Jacksonville. Now, are you thinking of leaving Port Orange? That's what I'm curious to know. Oh, now you're in Vermont. Oh, so you're in the Northeast. Oh, it's got to be beautiful today. I know the summers there have to be impeccable. I'm sure it gets hot, 80s, 90s. All right, so you're living in Vermont. You have a house that you're trying to sell in Port Orange, but you're from New York, and you grew up in Jacksonville. So I'm connecting all the dots here just to be accurate. Yeah, Vermont's got to be, talk about off the grid. And where I live in New York City, I mean, that is anything but that. As I'm sure you all know that you lived in Hicksville once upon a time. But, yeah, curiosity. That's what a lot of people with intent, and no, not intent to harm or to injure or to, like I said, have any ulterior motive. It should be a thing where we should be curious about when other people in a case like this, when they hop on my live stream. Yes, need to sell my house in Port Orange. I wish I knew somebody that lived near Daytona. I know, like I said, I have family members that live in South Florida. I have family members that live in Orlando, which isn't too far from Daytona. But I don't know if my son is looking to purchase a house right now. Yeah, I wish I could help you there with that. Now, how long has it been on the market? I'm curious. Now, Felicia, I see you're a top fan, number 3. I wonder how that happened. That I'm curious to know. Devil May Cry. Is that another song? Let me see. Yeah, I'm going to look this up. Melly Mike. You know, as a matter of fact, you ready for this? Melly Mike, musical artist. Yeah, Young, Black, and Rich. Yeah, I wouldn't know this guy is following. I do not know. And he's got to be, what, more trap music? I mean, who knows? Not my thing. It's a beautiful area. Oh, I'm sure it is. As a matter of fact, let's look it up. Port Orange. I know you said it's near Daytona. Wilbur by the Sea, South Daytona. I went to Daytona Beach, talk about experience, 1992 for a bachelor weekend. And that is the only time that I've been in that neck of the woods, which was a great time. I mean, obviously, I was what? 22 years old. I was about to turn 23 because it was in March of 92. And that is the only time that I've been in that area. And yeah, so that's got to be what, about an hour and a half to Orlando? 2 hours tops. It's north and east. Yeah. St. Augustine, Jacksonville. Obviously, it's north of that. So, yeah. Been on the market since March. Yeah. Listen, I wish you the best of luck in trying to. Now, I don't know if you're working with, I'm sure you have a realtor or somebody down there that you're working with to try to sell. And with you in Vermont, I know it's got to be difficult to like hand the keys over to somebody to entrust in your home, whether it's just to, I'm sure you probably have it rented right now because at least you're getting some, unless the house has already been purchased, bought, all you do is pay taxes on it. That obviously I'm not aware of, but no, I wish you luck. I hope that you're able to sell it. If you want, I mean, we could even talk offline about it. And what I mean by that, you could just leave more comments and we could correspond that way. But yeah, near the beach. I mean, I'm sure it's probably a beautiful home. And the area is great. So, but now I'm curious even more so as well. So what's the next step? Of course, I know you want to sell the home. You live in Vermont. You want to stay in Vermont. Is there, I don't want to go as far as saying a plan, but I guess in one sentence or a sentence or two, let's say if you sold the house tomorrow, what is the next step for Isabel Whitney? I'm curious. I know there's silence here. All right, should be playing some music, right? 87 Oilers fan, what's going on? What's good? I'm good. Edmonton Oilers, I'm assuming, right? And that's 87, right? I want to make sure it was 87, not 97, because if it was 97, then I knew it was definitely Edmonton Oilers for Connor McDavid. I'm good, Oilers fan. Getting ready to record a podcast in a few, talking sports is what I do. And I guess in the meantime, not much hockey to talk about. So I'll get into obviously what's happening in baseball. I know baseball's not everybody's cup of tea, but baseball is the only sport that's really going on right now. So I'll talk, the best team in baseball is the Brewers. Surprise there. My beloved Mets playing terrible. Are you from Edmonton? Listen, I'm an Islander fan, living in New York. I actually, drum roll, suspense. I live in New York, but I rooted for you guys the last 2 years in the Cup final, and I love Connor McDavid. I wish you guys would have won at least one of those two, and your thoughts, is he staying past this year? Because obviously he's a free agent after this year, as you well know. Actually, I guess that's supposed to be. But yes, I got baseball. We'll talk a little football on the podcast today. The podcast will come out around 12:30 Eastern time. Apple, Spotify. The website is JAYREELZ.com, just like you see there on the channel. Here on YouTube, I'll have it posted. And yeah, I'll also talk college football. College football starts 3 weeks from Saturday, which is crazy. And yeah, I'll get into anything that's going on in the world of sports. I got you covered. And I talk about it in about an hour, a little over an hour. You're one-stop shopping for sports. So if you listen to a football podcast, if you think he stays, all right. Listen, I hope he does. Because if he goes elsewhere, oh man, that'd be a huge blow to the city, fan base, etc., organization. Yeah, I mean, how can you not love McDavid? So, but yeah, and I'm surprised you haven't heard a lot of rumblings because you figured that they could, after, what was it, August 1st? Or maybe it was July 1st. They could have given him an extension or at least an offer. And although McDavid said that, oh, well, I'm not rushing to sign a new deal, blah, blah, blah. But you would think that Edmonton, and I'm sure they don't want to leave themselves hung out to dry, that they say, hey, we're going to give you all this money. Let's say they're going to give him whatever, 8 years, $100 some odd million, and McDavid says, nah, I'm good. They're going to look bad. Felicia, I look like the Punisher. You know, somebody, it's funny you say that. There was somebody a few weeks ago that said the same thing. And that they said I look like John Bernthal. You're talking about, the Punisher character. And it's weird because with you being the second person saying that, listen, I don't see the resemblance, but you know what? Hey, I take it because I like Bernthal. Bernthal, he's a great actor. Seems like a good guy, the whole nine. So thank you, Felicia. I appreciate that. But But yeah, for Edmonton, I hope you guys re-sign him. And obviously, they certainly don't want to have egg on their face if they put out a contract offer and then next thing you know, he doesn't re-sign it. And then they got to sit for a whole year and wonder what the hell they're going to do. They may have to trade him, etc. So, yeah, guys, I am going to sign off in a minute because, yeah, I got to start recording. I got to start getting to work. And I appreciate you stopping by. And just to give you a brief idea, I also do a live stream on Wednesdays at 12 o'clock. Every Wednesday at 12 noon Eastern time. And, yeah, I talk mostly sports, but I got a lot of people in the chat room. We talk about whatever's going on. So if you want to hop on board there, my next live will be Monday, so if you want to jump on board there, you could do so too. If you subscribe, I appreciate it. Again, I do have lifestyle content on the channel, but it is mostly sports, so I know if that's going to bore you, whatever. 87 Oilers fan, hopefully you sign on board. I mean, I don't know what other sports you like, but I talk about it all. Baseball, basketball, football, hockey, golf, tennis, even horse racing, just the 3 major races, boxing, MMA. I cover it all, and with the lifestyle content, and I do this full-time, people. Yeah, I quit my job a year and a half ago, actually to the day. 18 months ago, as I quit my job to pursue this full-time, to try to generate income, the whole 9. So, yeah, it's been fun. It's been a grind, but I love doing it. So that's why I've been doing more of these pop-up live streams or live chats Monday and Thursday, 9:30 Eastern Time, a.m. So if you want to keep that in your memory bank, I appreciate you jumping on board. And, of course, the live stream on Wednesday as well. So, but you know what, people? Let me sign off because it's 10 o'clock. I got to get my day started. I appreciate those. I appreciate Isabel for hopping on board. And, yeah, if you want to chat offline, we could do that. 87 Oilers fan, I appreciate you as well. Felicia, to Jeffrey, what was it, Bezos, YT, and whomever else that was able to chime in with a few comments. DNA Boy said, what's up? Just want to give him shouts. FX in Brisbane, Australia. Shout out to you. And anybody else that hopped on board. I think that was it. Isabel, of course. And then 87 Oilers. All right, guys. So I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Podcast comes out 12:30 Eastern Time, 12:30 to 1. I'll have a lot to cover over the course of that podcast. And again, I'll see you Monday on the next live. Whatever you do, enjoy. From the South Bronx to South Beach to South Central to South Pacific and all points beyond. Peace, love, and God bless everybody. Until next time on The Flip. And hit me up if need be and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it.